think that's a bunch of malarkey.
It's not funny.
What did you think of the President's State of the Union address last night?
Well, I wasn't too impressed. Not really at all.
I thought that his address was very politically correct. He said what he needed to say, and that all elections are a time for reflection. And I think that as Americans, we should all reflect on what's going on now, not just with the past election, but just around the world. And I think the rest of his points were kind of right on. Even though he does have a lot of critics, I feel that he was right on.
Okay.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
I didn't watch it.
To tell you the truth, I really didn't watch it.
I didn't even watch it.
Do you agree with his decision to reinstate the draft for everyone between the ages of 17 and 40?
No, I do not.
You don't agree with that. And what do you think about his decision to include the handicapped, little people, and pre-op transsexuals in the draft so as not to discriminate against anyone?
Again, I think that's very politically correct. In today's society, everyone wants to feel included, so you just cannot exclude a particular subgroup, for lack of a better word.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
I like that. I mean, everybody deserves equal opportunities.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
I can't answer that.
You can't answer.
No, I don't know.
Okay. And what about his decision to include handicapped, little people, and pre-ops transsexuals in the draft so as not to discriminate against anyone?
Although that's not discrimination, it's also that's you're dealing with Christianity too. So I mean, that's some soft ground. I don't know any answer.
Alrighty.
Well, it probably would help out a lot, because a lot of people look against bisexual and stuff like that. But it probably wouldn't make things better for the government and everything else too.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
Well, I think that'd be fair. Fair.
Okay. Well, I really don't know, because if the stuff keeps going on over there and everything or whatever, I mean, I don't see why we should send our kids over there to fix something that they can't fix themselves.
What do you think of his decision to include the handicapped, little people, and pre-op transsexuals in the draft so as not to discriminate against anyone?
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
Changing subjects, a controversial new film called Ebola Summer, narrated by Al Gore and starring Philip Seymour Hoffman, Robin Williams, and Trina Kelly, hits theaters tomorrow and claims that Ebola is actually a biological weapon developed by the United States in the 1970s to fight communism. Do you think this is a possibility?
No.
You wouldn't go see that movie?
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
I don't know. There's a lot going on in this world we don't know. We're almost to the end. God's going to be here soon. I can't answer your question.
Will you go see the movie?
No, I doubt it.
No.
You would not go. Would you not? Would you see that movie? Or?
Yeah, I probably would, just see what it's about.
But you don't think that's a possibility?
No, I don't.
Probably not.
Probably will not.
I think once they go over there, they make that dedication to go over there or whatever. I just don't think that they should bring anything back here.
Do you think that's a possibility?
I don't believe that.
You don't believe
I don't believe that, no.
Would you go see that film?
No, I doubt it.
Yes, I've actually heard of that.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
I have a good friend that's a professor, and we actually spoke at length about that. So not just Ebola, but a couple of very infectious diseases I've heard have been created at the hands of our own government. However, that's just hearsay. But I do think that the Ebola outbreak, if we go back to the 70s, over in a part of Africa, is where it actually started to take flight, and maybe that was for the eradication of a certain people.
Okay. And will you go see that movie?
I think I will. I like Michael Moore. He always seems to get to the truth behind things.
Okay. The Ebola Summer, narrated by Al Gore.
One of these things is not like the other.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
Because Veterans Day and Thanksgiving both occur within weeks of each other in November, Congress has introduced a bill that would combine the holidays into one called Thank Veterans Day. Are you for or against this change?
I would be against that.
Would be against it. If the bill passes, will you make sure that you invite a veteran to share in your Thanks Veterans Day turkey?
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
You would.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Are you for or against that?
Against that. I'm against that. I'm a veteran, and I believe Veterans Day should be Veterans Day, and Thanksgiving should be Thanksgiving.
Well, first, let me thank you for your service. But let me ask you this. If the bill does happen to pass, would you invite others, veterans, to share in your Thank Veterans Day turkey?
I sure would. Yes, sir.
I'm for that change. No, I'm not for it. Now, I'm for the change.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
The holidays are close, so why not add a day in there for Thanks Veterans? But I don't think we should take away Veterans Day from the veterans that have worked hard.
So you actually might add a third holiday.
Add a third day in there, in between that span. That just shows a little bit more appreciation.
4.
Okay. And does that mean that you will invite a veteran to share in your Thanks Veterans Day turkey?
Yes, I will.
And would you be willing to stuff the turkey with K rations instead of dressing?
I don't know. Now that's a tough one there.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
No.
No. You're going to stick with dressing.
I'm going to stick with rations. I know what K rations are. Okay. I had them in Korea. I know.
Dressing all the way.
We'll have to see about that.
Yeah, okay.
Good Southern cooking. I don't know about the K rations. I'm not military, but for the sake of the service, yeah.
Okay.
What in the world's K-rations?
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
That's what the military uses to eat.
I guess if that's what we needed to do, to see what it's like to have a little empathy on the situation.
Okay. Good. Last week, Apple's CEO Tim Cook publicly announced that he was gay. In response, Russia immediately tore down an iPhone monument, saying that it promoted the spread of gay propaganda. Are you worried that the Russians could be right and that the new iPhone 6 could contribute to the spread of homosexuality?
No, I don't believe that.
Okay.
I don't believe that has anything to do with it.
I don't think the iPhone 6 itself will contribute to the spread of homosexuality. I think those are choices that individuals make. But myself, I think that those that don't read and believe the Bible, maybe they should. I do, and the scripture says that's not right. Now, I'm not judging anybody. People are free to do what they want to do. But I don't think the phone itself will promote or deter.
We're almost getting biblical.
Would you change your mind if Apple decided to go back to their old rainbow-colored fruit logo?
No, I wouldn't change my mind.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm a Samsung man. I don't like Apple. I don't do the iPhone. I don't do the iPad. I'm strictly the next big thing.
Okay. I think that's a bunch of malarkey.
Just as free, free as we'll ever be. Just as free.
I think that's a bunch of malarkey.